Stansbery, the head coach here for Central Cass in her second season as the head coach in this stint. And for you, Dana, here, busy time. Volley in the Valley volleyball tournament was just this past weekend. Obviously, you had a number of good things happen for your club. You went down to Sargent County earlier in the week on that Thursday night and able to come out with a Region 1 victory. So overall, the first couple weeks of practice, getting into the particulars of the season so far. Now you're kind of getting back into the swing of things, so to speak. How's everything gone to this point on the club for you here this season, Dana?
Yeah, so we kind of are relating it to climbing a mountain, and we're making little gains each week, each day in practice. We're picking apart skills and just making those little improvements to make the big differences. Like you said, we started out with a pretty exciting match against Sargent County on Thursday. The last set ended up going 29-31. They're a good program. And I noticed they made a few changes as well when we watched them again on Saturday. And they made some big gains and ended up in our tournament in that championship round against Linton that we fell short of. But for us on Saturday, it was a great day. A lot of positive energy. The kids were putting the ball down, good crisp passing. It was fun. It was a fun day.
When I look at the roster, just in terms of players coming back, players that have left, this group has a lot of varsity experience from last year, obviously being in what your program is, year number 2, maybe of just in terms of how you might say stuff or how your assistant coaches might, kind of have a term and you don't maybe have to explain it, as now it just kind of rolls off the tongue for both them and you. So how's your number 2 just in that familiarity with the girls, whether they were freshmen, whether they're juniors, last year coming into the program for year number 2 for year here, Dana?
First, I'm going to talk a little bit about my assistant coaches. They're fantastic. I have Maddie Vodrin and Greta Gibson and with me. And then I have my 2 freshman coaches, Haley Quitschreiber and Marley Harold. And I couldn't be more pleased with our coaching staff. Maddie and Greta have put a lot of time in with the varsity as well this summer. And the things that they have done and implemented and that they are doing and working with the kids, it's making a huge difference. So I'm a pretty lucky head coach to have great assistants all the way around and all the way through the program, 5th and 6th grade, 7th and 8th grade. We've got a pretty solid staff. Kids returning, yeah, we've got we had some big shoes to fill, but we have girls that are doing it with a great positive attitude. The energy is good. Practices are fun and upbeat, and that's a credit to the kids and the leadership. I've got 3 captains with Izzy Thompson, Ava Cotton, and Becca Kegley, and they are fantastic leaders. I'm so impressed with those 3 ladies and the other kids too.
We kind of go into those particular, just the captains. We can start right off, with Izzy here. Just kind of, I know last year outside hitter, someone who could, bring a little juice when you needed it to a little bit here and there. So what does she provide? Not just what she can do at the net, but what does she just provide, on and off the court for the club this season?
We've talked a lot about being an anchor and what an anchor does whether you're in the sea or in a volleyball match. And Izzy is an anchor. She is solid and steady. She can ground us when we need it. She's got good insight. She knows volleyball. She can put the ball down when we need it, but she can also put up a perfect pass. She's just got a high volleyball IQ and knows where to place the ball and knows how to play. She's a 6 rotation player for us and a pretty cool kid too.
Same question, Becca Kegley, just kind of what does she provide now? A little bit more of an elder statesman this year in just terms of where she is, but what does she provide?
Yeah, she's a libero and she gets out there, positive attitude. I don't think I've ever seen her frown. I'm sure it happens. I just haven't seen it yet. Very thoughtful player, always analyzing what's happening, looking at our defense, giving us feedback on the block. What do we need to change? What do we need to do differently? And just a smart kid.
Ava Cotton, you and I were kind of joking how many more Cottons are coming through the system there in Central Cass. It just seems like there's always another one rolling on through it at some particular level. But for Ava here, same thing, kind of in a way that she got to have experience at the varsity level last year. Now she comes back and kind of has that experience to help her maybe get to a different level of where she was before. So what do you want to see from Ava as the season has started but continues to progress over the coming weeks?
The biggest thing that we're seeing in a difference from Ava Cotton last year to this year is what she does with the ball when she goes up. If her set is a little bit off or She sees that she's got 2 blockers. She knows how to tool a block now. She knows what to do with the ball. So not only do we have that power coming in, we've also got that decision making that's happening. That's a little bit different this year. Kind of a level up for her. Again, another kid, very positive. Another anchor for our team, you could say.
There's a couple more girls that I'm sure we could talk about every one of them, but we'll kind of move on here a little bit, Dana. Just kind of from this standpoint, you got the Enderlins, the Maple River, so to speak, coming up. Obviously, everybody circles the Kindred and Northern Cass states when it comes to Region 1 volleyball. But what does it mean the last year of what Region 1 Class B is? We know we're going to 3 divisions next year. So have you had that conversation with the team, or is it this is just a normal season? We obviously have goals that we want to achieve both individually and as a team, and try to put yourself in the best spot once you get to November when it really does count, where you win and you advance, you lose and you're done. So how have you kind of had that conversation, or have you had that conversation with the club this year, Dana?
We haven't had the conversation with the kids in that way, but we've talked a lot about it as a coaching staff and even as a school with our athletic director, thinking about tournaments and all of that kind of stuff for next year, but focusing on this season and treating it as it is. This is our 2024 season. We're going to work hard. We're going to do what we need to do. On a personal level, yes, we want to be there. We want to be at that state tournament in November. And this team has the potential to be there. Region 1 is tough. We're going to see teams that maybe haven't shined as much in past years that are stepping up. You've got your Maple River that is definitely going to be a contender. Enderlin, we watched them on Saturday at the tournament. They're putting the ball where it needs to be. They are going up and blocking strong. There are teams that we haven't seen in a few years as maybe more of a contender when it comes to the end of the year. So I think Region 1 is going to be wide open, and it'll be fun to see who comes up at that time in November.
Yeah, I'll say this from a broadcaster. I love to hear that from a coach. I'm sure that keeps you up at night knowing that every match is going to have to be a good one coming through here. And what's a trait or characteristic from your club so far, Dana, that you've really liked, that now we kind of get into the swing of things of, roughly 2 volleyball matches a week or so? I know you still got a tournament or 2 still left on the schedule a little bit later on, but what's something that you want your team to take so far that you've liked from this season and add to it as the year progresses?
The biggest thing for us that we need to start tweaking now is our defense. We know what to do, but now we need to start talking situations. We need to we have a plan. We need to start implementing. What do we do when we switch to block cross versus line? What are we going to do defensively that's going to level up and make that difference when we're playing those tough teams?
It's a lot of fun this time of the year as a coach. I guess it was a little bit different this year, such a late start before you kind of got going, after Labor Day. A lot of times you already have a match or 2 before Labor Day weekend, not going into it or after it here, Dana. So was that a challenge this year for your club, or was it, hey, you know what, we'll figure it out with school, with, teachers coming back in, with parent conferences? I mean, you kind of had a smorgasbord there for a week or 2 before you finally got things going.
Yeah, actually, I was really thankful for it this year. I don't remember. I've coached since 2000 or since 1999, and oof, that dates me. I don't remember even, after we made the switch to fall in 2002, I cannot remember starting as late as we did. I went back to look, and I think the latest start date I had was like the 15th or something like that. So the late start date, I was okay with it this year. On a personal level, we had a lot going on, and getting to start school and getting into this slowly, I think it actually worked to our advantage this year. The kids were ready to play. They wanted to play week 1 and they were tired of practice by the 6th practice, but I was thankful for that time.
What's the one thing that you've enjoyed most coaching this group so far this year, even last year's group, into this year, just because there's that chemistry and a lot of girls that obviously are coming back and that had that opportunity to play as sophomores or play as juniors at the varsity level? What's the one thing you've kind of enjoyed so more, Dana, on the bench?
That's an easy question for me because I've said it to a lot of people. And I know every coach probably feels this, but I feel it to my core. We have great kids. They are just a fun, energetic bunch that is super fun to coach. And I don't think, we can talk wins and losses and all of that kind of stuff, but when you've got a group of kids that wants to win. They want to be there. They want to be on the court. They're asking for extra time. That's on them, on their parents, being brought up well. They're just a fun group, and that's exciting as a coach.
Final thing for me, Dana, if someone, obviously we like to say, if you can't make it to the game, watch it on yourliveevent.com. We got all the Squirrels home games and a handful of road games. But if someone wants to come into Regional 1 to kind of what you alluded to earlier, I've already saw a 5-setter with Oak Grove and Northern Cass. Obviously, between their tournament, your tournament, there's been a flavor as well to see how teams have progressed or maybe got very close. And in those tournaments, you're not playing a full 5. It's either time, points, or you try to win the first 2 sets. So it's a little conducive a bit. But why should someone come on and watch Region 1 volleyball or just volleyball in general? Because it seems like this year, seeing some of the scores, there is a lot of balance, as you kind of alluded to, top to bottom in the region this year.
Some people, my brother, Mr. Maggio there, the baseball coach, he alluded to one time that volleyball is kind of slow. I was like, compared to baseball? I mean, really? Come on. It's a fast-paced game, and there's a lot of energy and excitement in the gym. I felt it the whole day on Saturday. I talked to a couple other coaches. They felt it too. It's just an exciting time in volleyball in North Dakota. The skills are getting better. The kids are getting crisper with their movements, and it's fun. So everybody needs to come out and watch.
And as you alluded to, that has obviously allowed more kids to go on to the collegiate level, which we've seen both locally and regionally as well. Dana, I could spend a lot of time talking volleyball with you. Appreciate the time. Thank you so much. And looking forward to seeing you sooner rather than later at a court somewhere here in Region 1 with Central Cass Volleyball.
All right. Thanks, Chase.
That again, Dana Stansbery will continue after this here on the yourliveevent.com Coaches Show.
Live, work, and play here in Hillsboro, North Dakota. The Hillsboro Economic Development Committee can assist you with information and support for business and housing. Experience Hillsboro. More at 104.
Continuing on the yourliveevent.com Coaches Show, I'm Joe Lancello, joined by Brenda Slyt, the coach of the Climax-Fisher volleyball team. Brenda, how's your season going so far?
We started the season very, very strong, beating North Home Kellier and Fosston. And then we went to the Ada tournament last weekend, and we didn't perform the way we wanted to, but, the girls learned a lot from that tournament, and, they came back to practice ready to go. And then, we didn't really get much practice in between that Ada tournament and Sacred Heart because we had Sacred Heart on Monday. Right. And I thought, I saw some really good things on Monday against Sacred Heart. We played them close in that third set. And I think if we would have started the way we did in that third set, it would have been a much closer match. But like I said, this team is learning. They're willing to do what I tell them to do. And I'm excited, for the rest of the season.
You lost quite a few players, 7, I think it was, from graduation from last year's team. How is the new bunch knitting together?
These young girls, they're hungry. They want to win, and, and they want to learn. And I miss those senior girls from last year because they're a great bunch of girls, but, we have a lot of young kids and, newbies that are willing to put that time in, and, they're very coachable, and I'm excited just to see how far, this team can go this year when they figure, different situations out on the court.
Who are some of the new girls that are seeing playing time for you this year?
We've got Anna Nesvig, we have Brooklyn Hoffman, we have Tegan Johnson, Cadence Carinta, Kaya Parkin, Autumn Flayton, Kinley seeing more playing time from last year. She got in a little bit, Kinley Carinta, Claire Erickson, and both Lucy Paulsrud are my returning players from last year. Mm-hmm. We also have, I just pulled up Peyton Schrader and Abby Anderson. But for the most part, it's those ones that I mentioned in the beginning. Those are the newcomers. So the only returning players who saw a significant amount of playing time last year was Claire Erickson and Lucy Paulsrud. Okay.
Peyton Hoffman, of course, 2-time member of the all-conference team, and she's just now going into 9th grade. And I know she had there was some concern about a knee injury early on. How is she doing?
She's currently in PT, and she just got her brace fitted last week. So as soon as that brace comes in, she gets to take a agility test, and we get to find out whether she's cleared or not. And she potentially could come back for volleyball season. And we're hoping, to get her back because she's got that big presence in the front row. She's a great leader on the court. So, we're just hoping for positive results from that agility test, and then we can go from there.
And you mentioned Brooklyn Hoffman is seeing some playing time, and she is a 7th grader, so that kind of runs in the family because Peyton also started as a 7th grader.
Yep, absolutely. Peyton, she's a good role model for her siblings. And, Brooklyn, she truly loves the sport. That's, she always tells people that that's her main sport. And, it comes natural for her and she puts the time in. She plays spring ball. She does summer JOs and, she really enjoys the sport and she really understands it.
How do you see the Knights doing this coming season?
I think this is a great team. I just think they're young and inexperienced. And I think as soon as they get some of that experience under their belt in different situations that maybe they didn't see in JV, I think, they're going to be amazing. And I think it's just going to take some time and I think it's just going to take some experience. But I think when these girls put their heads together and figure that part of the game out, I think there's going to be great things on the court because we see moments right now of it. And I'm just hoping to see more and more moments of it each and every night. And like I told the girls, this is a new team. There's going to be many changes and we just got to figure out what's going to work for us. So I'm going to be moving girls around and seeing if it works. And if it doesn't work, you just find another way of doing something. So I just hope that the girls have patience with me and I have patience with them. And I'm hoping that we can figure out a solution just to get us on that winning wagon.
I'm guessing too that varsity volleyball a little faster than junior varsity.
Yep, absolutely. Girls are hitting harder. The ball's moving around. You got those girls on the other side that know where to place the ball. So just getting that instinct down is something that we need to work on rather than, a lot of the times we catch ourselves standing. So just that reaction time and hoping that, they eventually start to see like, oh, I don't have all the time that I had last year. The hits are harder. They're more down and getting down, moving our feet and, communicating on the court is something that I really hope that we can start to figure out. We have those moments, like I said, but just overall, just building that together on the team is something we need to continue to work on.
Okay, and people will be able to see you do that tomorrow night, Thursday night, when you get Warren Alvarado Oslo at home.
Yep, I'm really excited for tomorrow night. We played Warren a few times this summer in JOs, and I felt like the girls played strong against them. So I'm hoping, tonight we get in there, we talk about some of the things that we're going to do tomorrow night and the things that we need to do to get things done. And like I said, this is a group of kids that, they want to win. And a lot of them have been playing together for a long time. So I'm just hoping that, tomorrow night they come focused, come ready, and, they just give it all they got.
Okay, and you've had a couple of home games in Fisher. When's your first game in Climax?
I believe our first game in Climax is next week.
Okay, and we'll be letting folks know about that on our various outlets. Brenda, Slyt, thank you so much, and good luck in what's left of the season.
All right, thank you very much.
Brenda Slyt, coach of the Fisher Climax Knights. We'll continue with the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show after this.
Treat yourself to a great career at American Crystal Sugar Company. Team up with quality people making quality products. Full-time and year-round in a stable business. With great pay and benefits including time off available from day one. American Crystal Sugar Company invests in you to promote your continued growth and career advancement. Grow your career doing your best work within the world's best beet sugar company. Apply online today at AmericanCrystalCareers.com.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions for 2025 and beyond with a drain tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free, detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
Don't be fooled by that beat-up old cap. Its faded crown represents the tireless work of America's farmers and ranchers. Its sturdy brim, their dedication to providing our nation with a safe, affordable food source. So we'd like to tip our hat to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Visit with Ryan Opdahl, your local Farmers Union Insurance agent in Hillsborough.
Joining us now on our YLE Coaches Show is Chris Ganley, the head volleyball coach for the Pequot Lakes Patriots. Chris, of course, you and I have talked plenty over the years. It's so fun to have another chat with you for our YLE Coaches Show and talk some Patriots volleyball.
Great. Yeah, I'm excited.
Of course, one of the things that stood out, and you and I have talked about coming into this 2024 season, was, of course, how do you approach things coming off a state championship run for the Patriots last year, the state class AA champions, and then with 9 seniors departing. As we're talking here for the Coaches Show tonight, the Patriots are 5-3. And I had a feeling, Chris, that it would be you'd have a good competitive team, but there were going to be some learning curves. Tell us about the offseason and the approach that you took with these players to go into this season after that state title.
Yeah. So some of the things we did is, of course, we do just regular play every week. We play at Central Lakes College League, and that just gives them a chance to play together in a relaxed, less stressful, arena. It's competitive, but a lot of people are having a good time too. So it's pretty relaxed. And then we worked a lot with our setters. Bringing in new setters is always, a trick because it's a quarterback position. They control a lot of what you're doing. And then we went to team camp, and I really love team camp. I think our team camps, when we do them, we don't do them every year, but we do them a lot. And they really build the community within the team. And also it gives them a chance to compete at a little more competitive level, because at team camp, there's a tournament. And so it's fun to play that. And, the girls actually won that. And so going from the beginning of the summer to the time we hit team camp, the girls had already improved a lot and built some team, aspects to their play.
Of course, the incredible thing about the 9 seniors last year was that especially a good chunk of the main players were 2 to 3 years and even a couple 4-year starters. And now you go to a team with 1 senior. What were some of the discussions like with her and some of the juniors about stepping into the big leadership roles for the Patriots?
Yeah, we talked and we're continuing to talk about how do you lead? And we're still figuring that out. I mean, I think that's a piece of our game that will improve with time. Because I felt like this summer, different games, different kids led, which is a good sign. But in the end, what happens when we get in a really tough spot? And sometimes they almost defer to someone else, and I need somebody to step up more. And so we're working on that. And they're coming into their game. We show glimpses. I told someone else, we show glimpses of brilliance. And then all of a sudden our inexperience just shows. And the only way to get that game experiences is to continue to play games. We can simulate a lot of stuff in practice, but we can't simulate what the opponents will do because they have different personnel. So we get used to playing against ourselves. And that's a problem. You only get 3 scrimmages in the volleyball season. We hosted one and we went to one and we have 1 left. And other than that, you're competing to win, and it affects your record and, of course, your QRF.
So 5-3 right now, and the 3 losses that the Patriots have are all to ranked teams. Albany, number 1 in AA, Wadena Deer Creek, number 9 in AA, and Grand Rapids, number 7 in AAA. With some of the great competition that you've had here in this first half of the season, what are some of the biggest strengths that you've seen from your team? What are some of the biggest areas of growth you've seen with being able to go against some of the top competition?
I love that I don't love it. I wish we would have come off swinging yesterday. We struggled a little bit at the beginning, and it didn't even look like my typical team that I've been working with since August 12th. And so I love that they changed their game. They got back into their own game, learned about their opponent, and the last 2 games of 25 were much better. So I think that's something we need to continue to work on is, we need to just continue to compete. And those matches like Albany, Wadena, last night, they make us better, even though it's a loss.
One of the things that I said with one of the early matchups, I had your Albany match on the radio, is that sometimes people don't always put a lot of stock in the fact that this group played every day against that senior group that just left. So when you look at how much that helps your team this year and your program throughout, what are some of the key takeaways you take from that cycle of high school sports to try to keep the program strong?
Yeah, I think that that is true, that when you have good teams competing, you look at way back to when Morgan Lowmiller and that crew was in, the next crew got to play against them in practice. And so they learned a lot. And whenever you do that, I just find that your program stays strong. And we just need to continue to compete even in practice.
What are, with this group, Chris, what are a couple of things that have really stood out to you in the positive light about what they're bringing to the table every day and how they're competing? Because the last couple of matches, there's been a lot of balance, there's been depth. What are some things with actual court gameplay that you have been real pleased with?
Our blocking actually is very good. We aren't the biggest team in the world, but like last night I counted, we were as a team in double figures in blocks. That doesn't always happen. Last year I felt like Grace Hofford was our primary blocker. She always had, I think she set the record at 13 ace blocks in one match, which is incredible. But she was kind of relied on as the primary blocker. I feel like this year we're smaller, but actually we're getting more double blocks. And I feel like we are competing very well. Like last night, we had 4 kids that had 3 to 4 blocks, ace blocks. That's very, very good. And like I said, we aren't the biggest team, but they're athletes. They play other sports. They strength train. And so they're getting up and they're doing the visual training that we work on to see the hitter and to get ace blocks. And they're doing great.
So again, 5-3 right now are the Patriots volleyball squad. Looking ahead at the upcoming schedule, I know tomorrow you have a good matchup in the Granite Ridge Conference with Mora. As I know some coaches don't look too far ahead, but as you kind of take a look at what's coming up for the Patriots, what are some things that excite you? What are maybe a couple of key matches that you're thinking, I really want to see us compete and maybe get a win in this match?
Well, actually, yeah, and I am looking, and it's Malacca tomorrow. I think you said more, but Malacca is
Malacca, yes.
Malacca is who we're playing. I looked at their record on Monday and it was 5-2. They were the same record that we had. I think that's a strong program. I think it's up and coming. And so I think, just that match alone is good for us. There's still things that my players need to build in their IQ, as well as we're working on some positioning issues. We definitely had some last night that I think could have improved our game, having watched the film this morning. And so we look forward to every match because we have to get better and we have to get games under these kids' belt. I mean, like you said, a lot of those players last year had been on my team 3 and 4 years. And these kids did a good job. They worked and worked and worked, even though they were sitting behind some kids. And so they came in strong, and I think we just need to get experience. So there's not one particular match that I'm looking forward to. It's every match because we have to grow and we have to learn. So
well, no surprise that the Patriots have certainly been competitive, and again, even in the losses, there's been some great competition. The Grand Rapids match was a lot of fun last night with some of the battles and 2 of the sets going extra points. So it's going to be a pleasure, of course, covering and following the Patriots throughout this season. Chris, congratulations on the success so far, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Great, thank you.
That's Chris Ganley, head coach for the Pequot Lakes Patriots, joining us on the YLE Coaches Show.
Coach Tinjum, congratulations on the win. What were some things from week 1 to week 2 that you were proud that the team got better at?
We put up a lot more points this week, so that was good. I'm not sure what the yardage was, but I think we put up a lot of yards. First half especially, we were pretty efficient on offense. Came out of the second half there and put up another quick score. After that, we kind of shut it down a little bit, sputtered a little bit of both. But I think, we proved that in that way a little bit. We played a lot of kids tonight for sure. We got a lot of kids in on defense and special teams. Offense, we didn't go down as much, kind of had to stay solid because they don't have the depth to sub down, so we didn't want to expose some of our younger guys to their older guys on offense there. But I think pretty much everybody played a little bit on defense or special teams, so good to get everybody a little experience, freshmen all the way through. So yeah, some good things. Some things obviously you got to get better at, never going to be perfect, but we'll watch the film and see what we think and try to make corrections.
Big matchup next week with Mahnomen Waban, and What's practice going to look like this week? Where are the things that just without looking at the film that are kind of obvious, like, we need to clean that up, and obviously you're dealing with some guys that are going to be a little banged up. We notice your especially defensive line, we're rotating a lot of guys in.
Yeah, for some reason we had a lot of guys cramping tonight. It's not exactly warm up, but we had 5-6 guys cramped up tonight. So hopefully nothing's major. We'll see come Monday. Hopefully they ice everything up and take care of things. But obviously when you play Monoman Waban, you have to stop there. They like to run the veer, midline, option stuff. The quarterback runs the ball a ton every game. Up front, they're so aggressive up front, so you got to be ready for their physicalness up front, and they just get out the ball so hard. You know what they're gonna do. They just dare you to stop them, and not very many people can stop them. Not many people can slow them down. So it's just a challenge to slow down what they do. You're never gonna stop them, I don't think. But hopefully we can be as prepared as possible, and hopefully we can give them a good football game. But it's kind of become a rivalry the last few years here, and it's going to be smash mouth football, and we're going to give it our best and see what happens.
All right, well, good luck to you preparing this week, and congratulations on the win again.
Hey, thank you.
That's Paul Tinjum with Mike Erickson down on the field.
There's more at 104. Hillsborough, North Dakota has everything you need on your next road trip. Food, fuel, fun, and family-friendly activities. Stop by and fill up your tank, or grab a bite to eat. Have a blast at Goose River Golf Club, the swimming pool, or one of our beautiful parks. There's even ice skating and cross-country skiing. Take in the sights or stay the night so you don't miss a thing. Experience Hillsborough and see why there's more at 104.
Sharing our heritage, sharing our future. Choosing the right bank for your financial needs can be challenging with the many choices available. Dakota Heritage Bank is pleased you're interested in knowing more about what they can do for you. The Dakota Heritage Bank community bank setting is a strong advantage they have over larger, less personal banks. Customers are more than account numbers, they are friends and neighbors. Working together, Dakota Heritage Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Hi, this is Jim, and along with Bernie, we're inviting R&J Broadcasting Incorporated listeners to join us on a tour of the Hawaiian Islands, February 22nd through March 3rd. The Big Island will be part of this trip, while taking in the breathtaking views of Oahu, the Big Island, and Maui. Enjoy the perfect balance between scheduled activities mixed with personal leisure time. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ to learn more about this tour, or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
Well, it's time for a conversation with Joe Woods, head coach of the Fosston Greyhound football team. The Greyhounds off to a 2-0 start. And, well, Joe, I tell you what, it was an exciting night the other night. Win over Winnimac, huge crowd, and your Greyhounds came to play.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, all the way around, just from the walk down to the stadium to getting on the field for pregame and having all the fans filing in. I mean, I talked to Liza Nelson. She kind of runs our tailgating. She said she served close to 400 plus people that night. That's a lot of people.
Wow.
I mean, it was fun. It was packed all the way around the stadium. There's people cheering in the stands. There's people in the opposite stands and the end zones. I mean, it was a fun atmosphere all the way around.
You and I talked on the post-game show, offensively, defensively, special teams. It was a whole package for the Greyhounds Friday night.
Yeah, I felt like we really, it was fun seeing the guys on all cylinders firing, and offense, special teams, defense. I'm really happy with our defense. Really excited about the way our guys are flying around, especially some guys on the corners and the defensive ends. And those are some things that we've really been working on throughout the offseason. By no means have we made it, but it's just fun to see those guys making strides, especially against such a high-powered offense that they were. I mean, they put some points up the week before. They had a really talented backfield. They had that running back was fast, or fullback was fast and strong, and so it was fun to see our guys play. I thought a complete game, and you're gonna have those penalties. I mean, we had some penalties, and turning back on film, a lot of those were the right call, but a lot of those are just effort penalties too. Guys are just trying to get, especially the wide receivers, trying to block on the edge, and that's a hard thing to do. Your arms might be out a little bit on the outside. It's it's just them trying to be effort and trying to do little things the right way, and you're going to get a few of those penalties along the way. It's it's the egregious ones like the unsportsmanlike conduct. You don't want those, and the face masks, and try to avoid those.
Well, the Daniel and Dupont duo on the backfield, another big night for both of them.
Yeah, both of them, you know, just they hit the hole hard, and our offensive line did a good job of getting them some moving space, you know, giving them some holes to hit. And both those kids, they just, you know, we talked about in the post game, they work really hard. They both do, and everything they've got is just because they've earned it. You know, they don't just show up and expect to be good. All summer long, they're putting in extra effort, and they're in the weight room, and you know, I don't think any of those guys missed a weight session all summer and all season. So it's been, you know, it pays off. So it's really exciting to see that come to fruition for them.
The off-season work ethic is huge, no matter what the sport is. To have that type of ethic is huge.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a special group of people to show up at 6:30 in the morning and work out during summertime. And I felt we had a really good crew this summer and in the fall camp, and then also into our regular season. You know, we asked the guys to lift during the regular season, and you know, most of them, yeah, they work hard and they do it, it's a big commitment. You know, it's tough to do.
You had some big plays offensively. Daniel, of course, had the big run, but I mean, you just did a good job getting the first downs and keeping the ball moving.
Yeah, I was really excited about that drive we had in the second half, third quarter, when they marched the ball all the way down the field. Our defense got a big stop, and then I was talking to Kenny Bowman at practice yesterday, and I don't know if we passed the ball one time on that drive when we went all the way down and scored. So it's fun to rely on the running game. We had a few penalties that drives put us back a little bit, but we just, you know, we tried to run the ball and put the ball in Daniel's and Ryan's hand, and just, you know, ask them to go make plays. So hopefully we can continue to do that, but you know, people are going to start noticing that and doing some things to try to stop it. It's going to be up to our offensive line to, you know, hunker down and make sure that they're doing their job up front.
Getting back to the defense for a little bit, you held Winnie Mac to just one offensive touchdown, and you know, that's a feather in your cap when you can do that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they do so much misdirection and some reverses and some pass plays, and they have some real athletes out on the edge. And that's what we were concerned about going in. You just never know what you're going to get when those guys are firing on all cylinders and the timing's right and the passing game is working. And that Haugen, I think it's Haugen in the backfield, he moves fast. And if he gets in open space, it's dangerous. So the biggest thing was just try to bottle that up. So, yeah, really excited about the way our defense played that night.
Week number 3 coming up, so you're a quarter of the way through the regular season already. But a tough opponent, Kitson County Central. They're off to a 2-0 start. You lost to them on the road last year, but you played them really tough, and if not for a few penalties and turnovers, that could have gone the other way easily.
Yeah, that was a fun game up there. Yeah. I mean, it was raining, it was sloppy, it was muddy, and I told our guys yesterday during film, I've always admired Kitson County Central and the way they play football. They are blue collar, they run the ball, they don't shy away from it, they like to control the line of scrimmage, and it's always been something I've watched from afar, whether I was in high school, college, or now coaching. And I have a lot of respect for them, a lot of respect for their coaches and the way they do things, and they are a tough football team. They are tough, they are strong, they don't shy away from what they do. They're not going to pretend that they're something that they're not, and I appreciate that about them. So it's going to be a tough game for sure.
It's a year ago, but I mean, it's something that the kids who are back on this year's Greyhound team can probably draw off.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we turned on the film, just kind of looking at them yesterday, and then some stuff from last year, and you know, they just got some dynamic guys. They have a player that's going to go Division I, play football at UND next year, and anytime you have a Division I player, you know, on the field, that's a special person, you know. So it's going to be, we'll have our hands full. They are a tough football team.
Yeah, the week after that, not looking ahead, but you've got Cleveland-Gonvick for their homecoming the week after. Then you're at the halfway point, but you know, so far so good. Boy, the community is really supporting Greyhound football right now.
I mean, it's just the outpouring of people just wanting to be involved and giving their time, their effort, their finances just to help us out, whether it's tailgating or, you know, had some people donate some Gatorades for us, you know, because it's going to be hot this week. And we're just very blessed to live in such a great community where people really take our football team underneath their wing and get excited about it. So we are very, very, very thankful because, I mean, I'd sit here all day in the interview and try to thank people. I just run out of, I forget all the names. So, I mean, the whole community, Fosston, surrounding areas, we're blessed to play here.
A good example of what you're talking about, I think, and you alluded to it, is the tailgating and the sponsors for the tailgating. That's awesome.
It's outstanding. I mean, we couldn't do it without them, you know. And then our tailgating crew, they put in so much effort. I mean, that line was almost to the opposing bench the other night, and they're working hard. They're making sure that they're putting the football team first, and it's a selfless job, and we really appreciate it. We really do, because it's one of those things where it's, you know, we're not thinking about it during the game or pregame, but it's such a big part of our part of our pregame to have them there and have that crowd there. And we run through it, and it just gives our guys energy. And we could tell we started out the game a lot hotter than we did when we were in Hillcrest. And I think that has a big part to do with our environment and you know, our fans, our tailgating, the music, just exciting. You know, it's a buzz. That whole walk down to the stadium, people cheering us on, and our guys just feed off of it.
Then you hosted elementary football the next day, and that was a big success.
It was, you know, just seeing those kids out there playing football and all the different teams, Clearbrook and Winniemac and Ada and Monoman and all, you know, it's just fun to see that. And then our varsity players are out there blowing the whistle and they're spotting the ball, and it's always easier to show up and do that after a win versus a loss, you know. But I tell our guys, like, you got to get back to the program too now, you know, and make sure that these kids see you there, and the kids get excited to see those older guys. And our older guys get pretty excited too, and those kids are giving high fives and stuff. It means a lot to them. It's a whole community, you know, from elementary all the way up.
JV, I think they're off to a 2-0 start. Junior high getting some games in, so it's a fun time for Greyhound football.
Yeah, the JV had a game yesterday. They beat Winniemac. Junior high plays tonight. I believe they play Crookston, 7th and 8th grade, and it's an exciting time. Doesn't get much better than fall. I mean, just the buzz around the school, around the high school, and the kids are excited. And you know, volleyball game tonight, all the guys show up and they cheer hard for that too. And there's just a lot of school pride in Fosston, and then we really appreciate it. I know coaches, it makes our job a lot easier when the community just rallies around these kids, and you see all these elementary kids wearing Greyhound shirts and, you know, high-fiving us in the hallways and seeing us at the grocery store, at the gas station. And I mean, that's what dreams are made of. I mean, you don't get that in a big city. You know, it's something special about being in a small town, especially Fosston.
Okay, before I let you go, Joe, how'd you come out of the game health-wise Friday?
Good. We, you know, I don't know if we had any guys cramping up, and some guys were pretty sore. I mean, we ran the ball a lot, so there was a lot of our offensive linemen or running backs were pretty sore at the end of the game, and we had a good practice yesterday and got the guys moving, got that lactic acid broken up, and today's going to be a full tilt day of practice, full pads, and, you know, get another few good practices under our belt and get ready for a big game.
All right, Greyhound football coach Joe Woods, congratulations on your 2-0 start, and good luck on Friday.
Thanks, Tom. We appreciate it.
Live, work, and play here in Hillsborough, North Dakota. The Hillsborough Economic Development Committee can assist you with information and support for business and housing. Experience Hillsborough. More at 104.
Welcome into our YLE Senior Spotlight. I'm joined by Red Lake County Rebels quarterback Owen Chervestad. And Owen, guys, off to a hot start right now, 2-0. Great start to the season. Congratulations. What's kind of been your recipe for success? You guys are putting up a lot of points and playing good defense from what I see.
You know, I think we're a really deep team this year, and we have a lot of good seniors and leadership. So we've been just kind of leaning on people that have played for a long time, because we got a lot of those people, and just playing hard, doing our job, don't do too much, and just, you know, get after it, I guess.
Well, week one, you put up 40 points, and then the following week, 63 points. You're at the helm of the offense. What's it like leading a team that is so high-powered offensively? And it's got to be a lot of fun for everybody involved.
Oh, yeah, it's very fun. I mean, I got good players all around me, a lot of speed. Everyone runs hard. Everyone goes at it. We got a great line up front, so it's just really fun.
And you guys have Lake Park Audubon this week coming up. They're 1-1, so competition as you get through the schedule is going to get a little more tough. Have you thrown anything of them on film yet that you would see pose some problems?
Yeah, we've done a lot of scouting on them. They always play hard. They always come to play. Very good team, well coached. They play offense well. It's kind of hard to stop sometimes, so we'll definitely have to work hard to play with them.
And how many years have you been starting quarterback for Red Lake County?
I think I started like 5 games when I was a freshman. So since I was a freshman on, I've started every year and had a lot of good teams along the way.
What would you say has been your biggest growth since your freshman year until now coming into your senior season?
I think probably just my body, you know, getting in the weight room. It's probably been the most important thing for me, just holding up physically and just being able to kind of play and not get injured and just keep playing, stay on the field.
What's it like playing for Coach Remick?
He's a very good coach. He's very intense, likes to get stuff done, very organized guy. You know what you're going to be doing, and it's just everything is written down and very thought out process. So it's very fun.
You guys have a lot of hype coming into the season in both football and then as well in basketball. You guys had a terrific year, didn't end the way you wanted it to, but just being around the area, people are excited about this team on the football field. And then even, you know, you're one of the star basketball players as well. Do you feel that support from the community?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's been a lot of years. I mean, even when we were not the greatest in both sports, they were still supporting us. So I feel the support. It's been great to see. There's a lot of people there that I like to see. So that's always good. And it's been great and couldn't complain. Wouldn't want to do it anywhere else.
How much do those younger guys in your program kind of look to you for leadership? Have you taken on more of a leadership role as you become an upperclassman and then also, I mean, playing quarterback as well? Do you sense those young guys kind of looking up to you a little bit?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, recent years, I've tried to lead with my voice a little bit more. When I was younger, I tried to be that leader by example. But as I've gotten older, I've learned that I need to use my voice more and kind of take on that more vocal challenge.
And I mentioned star basketball player as well. You play a lot of basketball in the summer with your AAU teams, and your guys' high school team is set for another great season. If you had to pick between the two sports, I know you don't want to, but if you had to pick, which way you leaning, football or basketball?
Probably basketball. I mean, so many memories playing basketball, and I just grew up playing basketball every day in the summer and stuff. So I have to say basketball.
Long-term goals after your senior year, what are they?
I'd say, well, basketball or football in college, sort of leaning towards basketball. I mean, my goal has always been to get to that D2 level or above. So that's been my goal for a long, long time now, and I'm just trying to reach that.
I'll tell you, from the first time I seen you, and you mentioned it being in the weight room, you have gotten a lot bigger, a lot stronger. It shows. So you keep on working. I think you're going to have some colleges looking at you. You're going to have some offers. So we're proud of you here at the station. It's been fun to cover you and watch you. And best of luck the rest of the way.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Owen. That's Owen Chervestad, the starting quarterback senior spotlight program here on YourLiveEvent.com. He's leading the Red Lake County Rebels this season in football, and be on the lookout for him in basketball as well. Thanks so much, Owen.
Thank you, James.